So hi all, welcome to this video series. In this video we will discuss the difference between user relationship function and the cross filter in DAX. So in use relationship function, it activates an inactive relationship temporarily. So when I say temporarily, it means only for that particular visual at the visual level, it activates that inactive relationship. It is used only inside calculate or calculate table, and it does not change the data model. This is the basic syntax of use relationship. It contains two columns, column 1 and column 2, in which one of the column is generally the one side and the another column is generally the many side. Okay. So this is the example: calculate measure use relationship sales delivery date comma date of date. Okay. Now we have this cross filter. What does cross filter do? It modifies the direction of the filter propagation. So it does not what can we say? It does not make an inactive relationship active. It makes an active relationship and it applies filter propagation to it. Okay, so it can disable, enable or reverse the direction of the cross filters. Okay, the direction in which the measuring happens. Okay, it can do that. So this is what cross filter does. Okay, here is a typical example of the cross filter. Okay, calculate measure cross filter customer of customer ID comma sales of customer ID comma both. So it is applying filtering in both the directions, both from many side and the one side, okay, of the table. We will see through this through an example. Okay, so summary: use relationship versus cross filter. Use relationship, it activates an inactive relationship, works only with existing relationships and does not affect the filter direction. Cross filter, it modifies the filter direction or it disables it. It can work on active relationship. It only works on active relationship. Allows bi-directional filtering in calculation. Okay, so let us move to Power BI. Okay, here we have a sales table. If I go to the table view, you will see that in the sales view, sales table, we have the sales ID, the order date, the delivery date, the customer ID and the sales amount. Okay, and I have created this table, this custom table over here, okay, which contains the dates from 1st of January 2024 to 31st of January 2024. It also contains the month and the days. Okay, now what I really want, if you go to the model view, right, what I really want is that I need to establish a relationship between this table and the sales table. Okay, so if I go ahead and if I check into the sales table, we have two dates. One is the order date and one is the delivery date. Okay, and both these dates need to be mapped to this particular date. Okay, so if I go ahead and if I drag this date to orders date, let's say, okay, what will happen? This is one to many, make this relationship active. Okay, it's already checked. If I click on save, it will create this one to many relationship. Okay, but the same date has to be mapped to this particular delivery date as well. So if I go ahead and do that again, right, what will happen? Make this relationship active. If I go ahead and if I click on this, you see this will get me an error. There are ambiguous path between sales and table because already an active relationship exists. So what to do then in that case? Go ahead, uncheck this. Okay, this is one to many, and click, make this as single, cross filter direction as single, and click on save. You will see what will happen. You see, this has created a dotted line. This dotted line symbolizes the inactive relationship, okay, between the date column and the delivery date. If I go ahead and if I hover on this, you will see both of them are highlighted, the date and the delivery date. If I go ahead and if I hover on this solid line of the relationship, it highlights your active relationship, that is between the date and the order date. Okay, now if I go ahead to the report view, let me create a matrix. Okay, and in this particular matrix, let me extract the date. Let me cross down the quarter and the day, and from here let me go ahead and select the sales amount. Okay, So this is the sales amount. Okay, let me go ahead and also change the font size of the values. Let me make it as 20. Let me increase the font size of the row headers as well to 20. Okay, and let me also increase the font size of the column headers as well to 20. Okay. So if I go ahead, drag this, let me go up a little. Okay, sorry, this is okay. So if you go ahead and look into this year and sum of the sales, right? Let me drill this one down. Okay, expand down one level in hierarchy. You will see we have 2 months, January and February, right? Now what I really want is that this amount that is showing, right, the filters that are applied here is by default it will pick up the relationship which is already active. So this amount is showing for the order dates. Okay, if you go ahead and if you look into the order date, right, go to the sales table, and if you look into the order date, the month that is showing here is only for February and January. But if you go ahead and look into the delivery date, right, it is for January, February, and also for March as well. Okay, but here it is only showing for January and February, because by default it will only pick up the active relationship which is which is established between the date and the order date. It will not showcase the inactive relationship by default. So in that case, what to do? Okay, how will you get the amount for the delivery dates, at which at like what is the amount that is what is the sum of the amounts with respect to the delivery dates, right? So in that particular case, you need to use the use relationship function to make the inactive relationship active. Okay, so how to do that? Click on new measure. Okay, and in the new measure, let me name this as measure use relationship, and let's calculate sum of your sales amount, comma. Now here I will use the use relationship function. So column 1 comma column 2. Okay, column 1 it will be, generally it is the the one side is represented with column 1. So this one will be your table date. Okay, comma, the many side it will be sales comma order date. Sorry, not the order date, the delivery date, because that is what is the inactive. So now if I go ahead and click on OK, right? So now this measure has been created, and if I go ahead and drag this measure and place it in the values for this particular visual, you will see that March has been added and this particular value is showing now with respect to the delivery dates, this amount. You see, now this is showing. But remember that if you go ahead, go to the model view, it's still in the model view, it's still okay inactive. Only at the local level, only at the visual level, right, this user relationship function has been able to make this relationship from inactive to active. Okay, this is a temporary fix only for this visual. For the rest of the visual, it will not work. Only for this visual where you have added this measure. Okay, now a little surprise, right? Now I will show you what will happen if I switch the this relationship behavior activity, right? For example, you see this is now showing make this relationship active, right? If I make this as inactive, and if I apply the changes, okay, and for this one I will make this relationship active. That is, earlier which one was the one which was inactive, I am making that as active, and vice versa. Okay, now between sales and delivery date, I am making this one as active. Okay, and now I am applying changes. You will see what will happen if I go back to the report view. You see now this is also showing the same value as the measure use relationship function, because this one by default it always takes the active relationship. So since I switched the active relationship, it has taken the same value. Okay, and now here in this particular measure user relationship, if I go ahead and if I change this to order date, right, and if I hit on enter, you see what will happen. You see the value has changed accordingly. See that? So this is the use of the use relationship function. Generally it is used when if there are two columns present in one table which have to be mapped to one single column in another table, okay, then this use relationship function is basically used. Okay, the value of two columns, if it is present, if it is mapped to only one column of another table, then this is used. Okay, so this is what use relationship it does. It makes an inactive relationship active temporarily. Okay, let me put my battery. Okay, now let's discuss the cross filter function. Okay, how now what the cross filter function will do. Let me create one more measure. Okay, and let me name this as cross filter, and sum of calculate sum of sales amount, comma, now cross filter. Now what the cross filter function will do, okay, whatever relationship is already active, okay, it will not work on the inactive relationship. Okay, currently right now the delivery date with the table date, that relationship is active. Order date is inactive. It will not work on order date. It will only work on the delivery date. So if I really want to change the filter direction, okay, of this delivery date, I can do that using cross filter. Okay, so what I will do, I will go ahead and I will select the one side, that is date, comma, then I will select this delivery date, comma. Now see, if I select this to none, okay, that means the filtration will not happen. If the filtration will not happen, then what will happen? You see here, you will see here that 1400 there's this 14,400 value which is there, right? Now it is being filtered on the basis of month. Now for all these months, existing months, it will showcase only the sum total value. It will not filter according to the month. If I select this as none, you will see what will happen. If I click on OK, okay, and now if I go ahead and if I drag this one to this relationship, you will see what will happen. You see, for all the months, it has given me 14,400 values. Okay, it has given me this value. But now if I go ahead and if I select this to only one way, right, that means filtering is happening one way. You see, this will change automatically. See, it has given me the result. So this is what the cross filter does. It makes the active relationship, it changes the filter direction of the active relationship. Okay, so this cross filter, it actually handles this part of the relationship, this cross filter direction. Okay, single or both. Okay, this part it handles. If you select there as none at the visual level, temporarily for that particular visual, it will not assign any filter direction for any table, whether it's on the many side, whether it's on one side, or whether it's on many to many side, whatever side it might be. For both the tables, it will not assign any filter direction if you select that as none. So that this cross filter function handles this part of the relationship. Okay, so that's it, guys. That is the basic difference between use relationship and cross filter function. I hope you have understood the use case for both these functions. Okay, and you have, and I hope that I have been able to provide you some clarity on this through this example. If you really enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to press the bell icon for notification. Thank you.